In 2025, the world's two largest economies, once deeply intertwined, are now pulling apart. With new tariffs, collapsing investments, and tech restrictions, the US-China relationship is entering a new era. Some call it economic protection, others, a Cold War 2.0. But what does this decoupling really mean, and why should it matter to the rest of the world? Before we get into this topic, first let's understand what decoupling means. Decoupling is the process of systematically reducing economic dependence between two countries. In simple words, it's cutting ties. Imagine this. For decades, American companies relied on China for cheap manufacturing. China, in turn, enjoyed massive revenues, technology transfers, and global access. But today, that system is breaking. And not by accident, but by design. This didn't happen overnight. In 2018, the US launched a trade war under President Trump. But that was just the beginning. By 2020, apps like TikTok and companies like Huawei were being banned. In 2022, export controls stopped China from accessing advanced semiconductors. Now in 2025, Washington is slapping tariffs as high as 145% on Chinese goods, and American firms are pulling out of China. The results? Bilateral trade is shrinking. US companies like Apple are shifting production to India and Vietnam. Tesla's expansion in China is slowing, and Chinese firms listed in New York are being pushed to delist. It's not just goods. Investments, research ties, and even student exchanges are vanishing. In 2021, over 370,000 Chinese students studied in the US. In 2025, less than half remain. And the main thing we must note was technology is at the heart of this conflict. The US accuses China of intellectual property theft and strategic espionage. China, in return, accuses the US of containment and unfair targeting. Now both are building parallel tech worlds. Two internets, two AI standards, two visions for the digital future. Decoupling isn't just economic, it's ideological. And the world? It's caught in the middle. Countries like India, Vietnam, and Mexico are trying to fill the manufacturing gap. Europe is debating whom to side with. African nations, dependent on both US aid and Chinese infrastructure, are walking a tightrope. And for the global economy, fragmentation means higher costs, slower innovation, and more uncertainty. Decoupling may seem like a distant policy battle, but it affects all of us. From the phone in your hand to the price of groceries. This shift is rewriting globalization as we know it. Will this new economic Cold War bring balance or break the world order?